It just takes time, and that's also going with the business that I'm trying to grow. I was telling Joy, I was like, yo, this shit is hard. And I knew all along that this was not going to be an easy thing, but in life I've typically excelled at being able to figure most things out. From going to school and the pace of the teaching was too slow, I would just get ahead and teach myself. A lot of things with Love Jays, with this podcast, and even designing, I have taught myself to do a lot of different things. The one thing that I have not been able to really teach myself is how to grow a business successfully. And there's a lot of trial of
quickly,
correct.
Yes.
There's a lot of trial and error, and I'm reading more and more, and I'm just like, this is not very easy. And so it has grown my level of respect for all entrepreneurs out there. I was like, man, this is not easy.
But every entrepreneur says that.
Correct, but it's different when you're actually in the trenches. Yeah. And you can hear someone say, oh, this is really tough. You're like, oh, no, it doesn't seem that bad.
Because you haven't had your go at it yet.
Correct. You're looking, you're like, yeah, you understand it's hard. But when you actually, like, someone can tell you the water's cold, but until you actually get into that water and you feel freezing water just paralyze your entire body,
right,
you have a different level of experience. And now that is what I'm experiencing. And I'm just like, this is not a game. Like, this is genuinely not a game. If you are currently working a job and you are in a hurry to leave your job and looking to start your business, I will be glad to talk to you. If you have questions, I will be happy to share those thoughts with you, because granted, my hand was forced after the layoff, so I was accelerated into starting this, but I'm just like, man, I have a lot to learn. And that's, I think, been the biggest wake-up call. It's like every single day, when you think that you have a little more of understanding, like something else presents itself, and you're like, man, I'm not even close.
Right.
And then you try to learn a little bit more of that. And then you realize that you're still further and further away from trying to make things happen. But it is definitely a struggle, and I'm gonna just be honest with y'all. Like, we come in here and I celebrate and I'm happy, but I have my days where I just, I told Joy, I was like, I've never battled with so much doubt in my entire life. I've always been a very confident person. And in most endeavors, again, I've tackled with confidence, and I'm tackling this with confidence, but I've noticed that I've had more doubt than ever before in trying to grow this business, because it's one of those where if you give 10% at your job, if you have a full-time job right now, steady salary, hourly pay, what have you, if you go and give 10-20% effort at your job, you're going to get 100% of your paycheck. If you give 50%, you're going to get 100%. If you give 200%, you're only going to get 100%. But whatever output you get, you are going to get 100% of your paycheck. Well, when you're an entrepreneur and you're trying to build your own business, if you give 10% one day, you're only going to get 10% back at max.
Yeah.
And sometimes it may be 1% of that 10%, but if you give 120%, you may only get 50% back or 60% back. Or if you give 300%, you may only get 90 or 100% back. And then there are days where, you may get 50 and then you'll get 100% return. But that has been the biggest challenge for me. Is I used to go to work every day. Some days are good days, some days are bad days. We're human. We don't perform at an optimal level every day. Now, there are some A players who have found a way to perform at an optimal level every single day, and that's why they're out here killing the game. But for the most of us, we are learning how to perform at an optimal level. And I have realized that when you don't have optimal days, you don't have an optimal outcome, and it is tough. It's a tough pill to swallow. And I'm in the process now of looking to hire a business coach to help me move along this journey, because another thing that all A players have besides meditating, exercising, and reading every day is they all have coaches. Every single one of them. And something that I knew, especially as an athlete, like regardless how good you became, you still had a trainer, you had a coach who was helping you improve your craft. And for some reason, when it came to life and when it came to business, we just don't think that we need any help, that we don't need any coaches, that we can just figure this whole thing out. And the light bulb moment hit when I was looking at this video of Lisa Nichols. She's a motivational speaker, does great work. And she was on Oprah's show. And during a commercial break, Oprah had asked her, she said, how many coaches do you have? And she said, notice that Oprah didn't ask me if I had a coach. She asked me how many coaches I had. And so Lisa responded, I have 2 coaches. And she went on to say, the next commercial break, I asked Oprah, how many coaches does Oprah have? Or do you have Oprah? And Oprah responded with 4. And she goes, so here's Oprah, the creme de la creme. Oprah's got 4 coaches. For whatever those coaches do, who knows? But here is a woman who is arguably at the height of the highest peak, and she has 4 coaches who are helping her along her journey. So like when I clicked that and heard that, it's okay, Justin, you can sit here and tool around with your thumbs all day long, but if you don't reach out to someone who is in a place that you're trying to be, or someone who has more knowledge than you, you're going to be sitting down here twiddling your thumbs.
Yeah, everyone needs guidance, and entrepreneurial life is often glamorized, so I appreciate you for being vulnerable enough to share what it's really like. I mean, it is beautiful because a win is really, really a win. But a loss is really, really lost. And inactivity is really inactivity. So it's, you really do, you get what you put into it eventually in one way or another. It's also just not immediate. Your payoffs aren't immediate. But I believe in the work you're doing. I'm really excited for you, and I'm proud of you for going through the trenches and keeping your head up, because I watch you day in and day out, and I know too that that's why you're so hard on yourself, because you're looking for results. But I can see the building happening because I'm outside looking in. I mean, I guess I'm in it with you, but it's different. It's 100% different. And yeah, I'm proud of you.
Well, I definitely appreciate that. But to your point, it is not glamorous. No. It is not, and it takes time. And as someone who is naturally very impatient, this is testing every single ounce of that impatience, because you can only do so much and you only know what you know. And when you're doing it by yourself, I don't have any employees, so a lot of it is me on my own, trial and error. I'm not at a point where I could pay someone to help me. I will be paying a coach to help me, but aside from the coaching fee to have actual employees, I'm not at that point of the business. So it's all of you, and it's your thoughts, and it's when you're in it, it's easy to get blindsided or it's easy to get blinded by just what you see. But it's tough. It is not an easy thing. I salute all those who have successfully built their own businesses. I salute those who are interested in starting to or planning to grow and start their own business. But if you have any questions or say, hey Justin, like, how really is it? Like, really tell me how it is. Is my 9 to 5 that bad? I may be able to be like, you might want to think about some things before you do it. Again, my hand was forced, and I was ready for this. You guys heard the episode that I released at the top of the year before I found out I was getting laid off. I was ready to walk in my purpose and live my truth. And this is a part of my journey in living my purpose and walking my truth. It's just a lot harder than I expected.
Right, and there's no going back. Like, you're in no way feeling like I'm out. But there is going through, and going through it is rough.
Whew, it's like going through a concrete wall, and instead of a drill, all you got is a hammer and a chisel, and you're just tick 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 tick, tick tick tick, trying to
carve
the way.
And a toothpick.
Exactly.
You gotta try not to break the toothpick, but you need the toothpick to be useful. Yeah, it's a lot.
Nevertheless, waking up every day and being able to work on something that you created is a feeling that is so rewarding that it's hard to explain. But just with that reward also comes some challenge.